International presents News 18 She Shakti 2024.
We are excited to introduce a truly remarkable young talent. From her modest start at a school competition to overcoming the hurdles of a reality show rejection, her journey is truly inspiring. Today, she shines as a national singing sensation with a whopping 5.6 million followers. Her soulful folk music, mesmerizing Sufi performances, and divine bhajans have touched the hearts of millions, including the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who honored her as the Cultural Ambassador of the Year.
मैं शक्ति हूँ, कर सकती हूँ। इस शी की शक्ति क्या है मैथिली?
बहुत सारी, मतलब यहीं से तो सृष्टि शुरू हुई है और हमारे घर घर में जो हमको प्रेरणा देने के लिए मेरी माँ आज मेरे साथ आई हैं। आज पापा नहीं आए तो मम्मी आई हैं और बहुत खुशी हो रही है मुझे यहाँ पे सभी औरतों को इकट्ठे देख करके, और वो भी अलग अलग फील्ड से सब यहाँ पे आई हैं। हमसे पहले जो बैठे थे उनको सुन के इतनी मोटिवेशन मुझको मिला, क्योंकि उनमें से एक बिहार से हैं।
हाँ।
तो बहुत अच्छा लगा और आज इस मंच पे आप सभी के बीच में आकर के भी मुझे बहुत खुशी हो रही है।
आप भी बिहार से छोटी छोटी पतली गलियों से गुजरकर बड़े स्टेजेस का सफ़र आपने किया है। टैलेंट हंट से लेकर शाइनिंग स्टार से लेकर ये पूरा सफ़र, ये ऐसे ही कट गया आजकल आप सोचती हैं, या फिर नहीं आपको बहुत कुछ झेलना पड़ा था? और वो झेलने से मेरे माने ये है कि सामने वाला टोके, उससे ज़्यादा अंदर की जो लड़ाई होती है, एक मैथिली दूसरी मैथिली से जो लड़ती है, वो स्ट्रगल कैसा था?
स्ट्रगल ढेर सारा था, लेकिन मेरा परिवार मेरे साथ था। वो पता ही नहीं हुआ चला कि कैसे क्या बीत रहा है, क्या क्या हुआ। बहुत सारे ऐसे समय देखे जिसके बारे में अगर मैं अब सोचती हूँ तो मेरा देह सिहर जाता है कि ऐसा भी हुआ था, ऐसा भी हुआ था। लेकिन उस वक्त इतना स्ट्रॉन्ग फील होता था, क्योंकि मम्मी पापा हमेशा समझाने के लिए आसपास में है, बताते रहते थे कि सब ठीक है, और मतलब पता ही नहीं चल पाया कि क्या कैसे हुआ। लेकिन जब अभी देखती हूँ कि जब एक ऑडिशन में आपको बस टीवी पे दिखने तक के लिए आपको 24 घंटे लाइन में खड़े होना था और बिना कुछ खाए पिए ऑडिशन तक पहुँचना था, मतलब बहुत सारी बातें, कितने सारे रिजेक्शंस हुए। और हर रिजेक्शन के बाद मैंने सोचा था कि बस अब ये छोड़ के यूपीएससी ही करना है, अब तो आईएएस ही बनना है और गाना वाना छोड़ देना है। लेकिन जब टीवी पे प्रचार देखती थी कि नहीं अब अगला ऑडिशन आ रहा है तो एक बार और लास्ट टाइम और ट्राई कर लेते हैं, तो ऐसे करते करते 6 बार ट्राई किया। 7वीं बार में थोड़ी सफलता मिली, तो फिर एक हौसला मिला, फिर आगे और होते गया, मतलब भगवान की इच्छा रही। कैसे कुछ पता ही नहीं चला कैसे हुआ।
अब यहाँ पहुँच गई तो ऐसा लग रहा है कि कुछ पता नहीं चला। उस वक्त पूछिए माँ बाप को जब वो आपको
हाँ, मुझसे ज़्यादा मम्मी पापा ने देखा। ऊपर से जब खुद के परिवार वाले बोलते हैं कि बेटी को गंवा रहे हो, तो ये बहुत बड़ा, मतलब बहुत ही स्ट्रॉन्ग स्टेटमेंट है।
दो किस्म के किरदारों का भी आपने जिक्र किया। पहला तो वो जो आपको रिजेक्ट करते चले गए, और दूसरा वो जो आपको वहाँ तक जाने ही नहीं देना चाहते थे, है ना, कि लड़की है गवाओगे, मतलब ये दिन आ गए हैं। अब ये दोनों आज आपकी आंखों में आंखें डालते हैं तो
अब
कैसा
ये बोलते हैं अरे मुझे तो पहले से ही पता था ये लड़की आगे जा।
इस खूबसूरत सेशन के लिए बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया।
Ladies and gentlemen, our guests in the next session have embodied tough, fearless cops in a groundbreaking series that revolutionized how women's issues are covered in our nation. These incredible women have not only captivated audiences with their commanding performances, they've also redefined the portrayal of female law enforcement officers at all by bringing a raw, authentic energy that celebrates courage and resilience. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for a conversation with the female leads of Delhi crime, the cops on reel. We have with us here Shefali Shah and Rasika Duggal.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, what an absolute pleasure and honor it is to welcome Shefali Shah and Rasika Duggal here on She Shakti. Thank you so much for joining us. Two fabulous actors who really embody the characters that they take on to play. Just before you came out, we actually had real women in real uniforms on stage, and you've actually, on reel, played two very strong, fiercely independent women in uniform. Shefali, I'm going to start by asking you about the Delhi crime experience. I don't know how many of you have actually seen Shefali say this before, but she says it quite often, that she's terrified every time that she faces the camera. It's very hard to believe, Shefali, but specifically when you took on this character, when you took on Delhi crime, what was that like? What was going on in your head about how you wanted to portray this character, how you wanted to embody this character?
Hi everyone, and it's an absolute pleasure to be here, and all of you are looking stunning, like stunning. I
Right
think I should
back
put a
at you.
paper and everyone should write where they got their saris from. Everyone. We've been standing outside and ogling, oh my God, how beautiful is that? When I did DC, we have to understand that it's never one person's job. We had a solid script. Rishi Mehta, our director, he had done research for like some 6 years on that script. And whatever was in public domain, we were privy to it. Also, I had the honor of meeting Chaya ma'am, Chaya Sharma, who actually cracked the Nirbhaya case. And I think I heavily depended on Rishi, but at the same time, I don't know when we started creating her together. Also, at that point of time, I have to be honest, there was no pressure. You know, today when I step back into her shoes, there is a lot of pressure because I'm like, oh my God, I don't know. Because honestly, I had no clue what the show was going to become or what this character was going to become.
And the kind of recognition it would get.
Absolutely. Didn't have any clue. I just knew we were doing something so strong, and I was extremely passionate about it.
Rasika, coming to you now, what was Delhi crime? What did it mean to you? I know Shefali said that it's been a watershed moment in her career. What did Delhi crime mean to you? And again, you know, portraying that character, donning that uniform, I know you also believe that we've often been cynical about the police force specifically, you know, in our own experiences of having dealt with it, but today you have a lot more empathy for the police force as well. What was it like for you?
It's been an incredible experience, I have to say, also because when we filmed season 1, I was filming in locations which is very close to where I went to college. And Neeti Singh, the character I play, reminds me a lot of who I was in college, where extremely idealistic. I felt like my good work could change the world, and of course soon realized that that's not how life works. So it was a very special experience for that reason. When I started out in season 1, I was a probationer officer. Neeti Singh is a probationer officer. So at that time, Neeraj Kumar, who had been the police commissioner at the time of the Nirbhaya case in 2012, was a consultant on the project. And I went to meet him and I said, can you introduce me to somebody who is in the same position? And he introduced me to this absolutely lovely cop who I still shadow. So I shadowed her in season 1. And in season 2, I went back to meet her. Of course, when I called her, she said, you know, तुम में वो smartness नहीं थी जो होनी चाहिए थी.
तुम में वो smartness नहीं थी जो होनी चाहिए थी.
So I said, great note. I will keep in mind that I will not let you down.
Season 2 में smartness आ गई कि नहीं आई?
Well, I mean, you know, I'm playing a character. So everybody wants to see themselves a particular way, but very often in life, we don't end up being the way we aspire to be.
And I do want to have a serious conversation with the two of you because of the subject that you've dealt with and the characters that you've played. 2012 to 2024, and unfortunately, the world that we live in, we continue to see horrific brutality against women in this country, across different sectors, across different parts of the country. You know, having played this character, Shefali, do you feel helpless? Do you feel hopeless? Do you feel frustrated? Do you feel a sense of anger, shame? I mean, as you look at the events as they're playing out today, what goes on in your mind as you look at, you know, just the newspaper headlines?
I'm going to say this as Shefali and not the show or the actor or Vartika. I just feel helpless and hopeless. It's very, very, I mean, it's just like, I don't even know what to make of it. I'm not even angry anymore, which is worse, I guess, right? I mean, when you're feeling something, at least there is some kind of emotion and there is some kind of want to do. But I just feel like, how do you correct this? How do you correct it? And honestly, I might sound very pessimistic, but I don't really know if we can completely eradicate this kind of toxicity from our culture, or from, not from our culture, but from our country or this entire world.
Yeah.
It's not just our country who's suffering this. Everyone is. So, and these are just the cases which came out and got highlighted by the press. Every day there is something, and as brutal, or probably more. And irrespective, it's not about brutality. You don't count it in how many scratches the woman had.
Yeah.
The damage is done. So I feel really helpless and hopeless. I mean, it's like, what can you do? What is it? What is it that you can do?
Rasika, very quickly, last word from you. If you could manifest a role, someone that you would like to work with, a director, actor, who would it be?
I'm waiting for a call which says, "Hi Rasika, we are making a biopic on Amrita Pritam and we want you to play Amrita Pritam."
Oh my God, I agree. That too. But I'm too old for it, I guess.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure. We wish the both of you the very best of luck. Thank you so much for joining us, and we can't wait to see more of you on screen and in real life as well. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very, very much. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Shefali Shah and Rasika Duggal.
Lions International presents.
For a very energized, fun-filled evening with an icon whose relentless energy, pizzazz and zeal for life makes her a trendsetter even among the youngsters. From singing the Beatles to Miley Cyrus's hit track Flowers to Ganesh Vandana, she epitomizes Shakti. And how? Through her powerful and versatile voice, and has redefined Indian music over the years. So let me begin by asking you, Usha ji, you've been singing for over 50 years, enthralling audiences, mesmerizing us. How do you do it? How do you stay so relevant and fabulous while sustaining such an incredible career that you have?
I think, seriously, I think what's very, very important is to make time your friend and not fight with time. I think people who are fighting with time all the time, I think they mix up age in between somewhere, and so they're fighting time. I don't, as you can see. I think acceptance and knowing your limitations and making them all your strengths is where it's at. I make time, my friend, and this is very, very important, I think, for all the women. I mean, our Vice President was so marvelous to say there are a couple of men over here, and really, let me tell you, every woman's issue is a man's issue, and I think the sooner we realize that, the better for all of us, because it's so wonderful to be able to walk, I realize this, and walk along with man, so that we can walk hand, I mean, it doesn't have to be your husband, it can be somebody else's husband. But just walk with man, yeah? That's the crux of the story, really. So if you really agree and accept that 55 years, now of course everybody's got Google, but before when I used to say 54, or when I said 45 years, I always felt people were taking out their calculators and saying, kitni buddhi hogi hai, And it's something to do with age, that people are fighting all the time. And so you waste such a lot of time trying to, fight time. I think if you make it your friend, then you walk with it, and if there's a new trend, you just try to pick it up. If you can, you do it. If it doesn't, then it doesn't matter. But retro is where it's at. So even if I sing an old song, I mean, Dekhte Dekhte, Koi Yahan Aaha Nache Nache is almost 35 years gone.
It's the song. It's my favorite song.
And even now the discotheques and all the kids are doing it. Even the Yo Bros and all the short form people, and everybody's doing it. I mean, it's really crazy. My grandson tells me, Buka, you might just make it. And then he says, you're just spectacular. It's just so amazing that if the only way to really stay relevant is, of course, to be able to have a body like yours. When I was born, God asked me, do you want a good voice or do you want a good body? I said, I want a good body, which is why I look like this.
you've also mentioned that your biggest endeavor while singing is to spread khushi, to spread happiness.
That's
and you know,
all.
one of the biggest challenges today is that while we're doing so well, we have gained all this prosperity, development, happiness is diminishing.
Yes.
Would you agree?
Oh, 100%. Everybody, I think most people take themselves so seriously.
Yeah.
This is the problem. And I think, you know, जैसे मैं हमेशा कहती हूँ that everybody's got problems. The whole world has problems. And we're not here to talk about the problems, really. We're here to say that, you know, ये मत कहो खुदा से मेरी मुश्किलें बड़ी हैं. ये मुश्किलों से कह दो मेरा खुदा बड़ा है. And that means a lot, truly. Really, I think if people and you know, in one of the podcasts, somebody asked me something which was shattering. I was so overcome with myself. I didn't know what to answer, but the answer was there straight away. He asked me, Usha, after you die, how would you like to be remembered? Whoa. Actually, he didn't use the word die. He said, if somebody is taking your ashes, that was even worse.
Oh my
actually,
God.
And I said, what? And then I said, the only way I want to be remembered is to know that I brought a smile on your face and made you happy, even if it was 5 minutes. And I think that's so important. I've never ever sung a song with an idea to give a message. But I've just sung because I know that people will glean messages out of what I sing. And really, like Gandhiji said, you know, be the change you want to see, really. And so when you know your limitations and you really want to change, there are other ways of changing, because I can't change my exciting body, but I can just learn to accept what it is. And you know, the younger generation, as you say, they've been inspired so much, or
Yes.
I've been able to empower them, because there was a time, a misconception, when because of the film industry, they always thought that the good girl in the film must always have a voice like that, you know, and only Lataji Mangeshkar and Asha Bhosle ji and all the bad girls were given me. So I'm the original item girl, ladies and gentlemen. Covered up like this. So, yeah, it just goes to show that, you know, how preconceived ideas can really rule your life for so many years.
You know, I wanted to ask you, obviously, your charm, your spirit, your effervescence. I mean, are you a happy-go-lucky person? And do you think that music spreads happiness, or do you have to find that happiness from within?
No, music spreads happiness. But especially if you have to be happy within yourself, really. Yeah, no, music has to come from within. And really, it's really my everything. The stage is my everything. Music brings people together no matter what the language is. And I'm not quite sure how many people are here from what different parts of the country, but I've been singing in 17 different Indian languages.
Yeah.
Are there any South Indians here?
Yeah, so many.
Oh my goodness, what a fine fun. So many South Indians. You see, the people are thinking that South Indians are all speaking like this with a bad accent. You see, but it does not matter, because we know where we stand. And we are the people who are ruling the world. What do you say? On one side is that, on one side is Shashi Tharoor. Yeah.
Do you think that your dress sense and your repertoire is an extension of you?
Absolutely extension of me, because I come from a very middle class family. And you know, my father was in the police, and I don't think we really had, I think we were not, I won't say poor, but we were not rich. We didn't have lots of money I come from a family which has, I had three pairs of uniforms.
Right? All of you.
Yeah, 3 pairs of uniform, one for the washing, one for the wearing, one for the drying. And we had white, not so stylish shoes like that. Well, yeah, we had one pair of black shoes and one pair of white shoes.
Those PT shoes, the white color ones which we had to polish.
With the
With- with
the
that
white
brush.
Yeah, it was amazing. So really, it was quite a different kind of upbringing that I had. And the only dress I knew after the school uniform was the shalwar kameez, which I learned to sew because of my neighbors, my Muslim neighbors, who taught me, Jamila taught me how to make a good shalwar. And my shalwars are really fantastic. They don't go, they go like so. Yeah, I'm a good seamstress. So if you think that needs a clap, then you can do that. So,
And she's a fantastic painter also.
yes. But unfortunately, you know, how did you do that? How did you get that?
I do my
clever cat?
research well.
Yeah, but I didn't have the time to really pursue that. I just wish I had. Yeah, but you know, I think everything depends. If you have a really good infrastructure of a fantastic family support, I think things work out for you. Though my parents never ever thought that I'd become, you know, a singer, and I didn't think I would become a singer. My music teacher in school threw me out of class saying, Sami, we can't fit your voice anywhere at all. So, you know, she threw me out and gave me a tambourine to play. This is what the tambourine, yeah. And it was really strange, but this is the only dress I know, is the sari. And as South Indians living in Bombay, I mean, I'm a Bombay girl basically. Friday was the time when we would buy Mullipu, and all the girls in the family just wore Mullipu in the hair. And you had a bindi, it was a very small size bindi, which we used to call Chandput. And slowly it became big, and then when I started earning money, then I bought good saris and started matching my saris. And of course, no gold like that. Most of my gold I gave off to Bapi Lahiri because he gave me so many hit songs. But no, I don't come from a very rich family.
But did you ever think that your look and your style will be such a rage, Usha ji?
Yeah, no, I never thought.
I mean,
I never thought that people would really think about it like this. Even in the security in the airports and things, they have that propriety air when they look at me and they say, "Aaj kya bindi nahi pehne aap?" 4:30 in the morning, you know, flight, sometimes you've forgotten this, and they say, "Bindi nahi pehne aaj? Kya ho gaya aapko?" So then I have to search and I say, okay, wo bag wahan se nikal ke aa rahi hai, I'll take a bindi and I'll put it on. So it's become a part of me, you know, that's what is so wonderful.
Usha ji, I want to ask you about your Padma Bhushan. You recently received that. How was that moment for you?
God, it was just so beautiful. I can't tell you, you know. I mean, I love getting awards, whatever the awards are. You know then that your work is being appreciated somewhere or the other. And for me, to get an award like this, to be recognized by your country, is so important. Because if I were a classical singer doing just ghazals or bhajan, film music, jinke itne records hain, 30,000 songs and all that, you know, banta hai ki you get an award.
You know, Usha ji, I was just thinking to myself that everyone talks about your ensemble and your beautiful saris and your gajra and bindis. You know, for the first time I've just noticed something, such beautiful eyes you have.
It's the only thing good in my whole body are my eyes. I'm so glad.
No, really, you have such sparkling
so much.
eyes. And I also really want to take this opportunity to thank each one of you.
Lions International presents News 18